Fox News analyst Karl Rove, the author of the big bestseller, Courage and Consequence, who is in San Antonio, Texas this evening. So you disagree with me a little on this, don't you?
Well, I agree with some of what you have to say. I strongly disagree with some of what you have to say.
All right,
and
give me
I
the
have a
strongly
slightly more
disagree.
nuanced view.
Give me the strongly disagree.
Well, look, you said neither Clinton, Bush, nor Obama got control of the border. The border is a lot tougher today than it was 15 years ago. You used to be able to hire a coyote to get you out of northern Mexico into the U.S.
It's better now, but it's still easy to get in. It's better now, but it's still easy to get in.
No, it's not that easy to get in, and that's the problem, because the tougher it is, the more dangerous the weak points along the border like Arizona are. Because, look, if you're trying to come up here and pick onions or change beds in some hotel in Las Vegas and get a job doing that, the risk-reward ratio is no longer very good for you. But if you're a drug dealer, you've got to get your product north and get your money and guns south. That's why we had this terrible murder in southeast Arizona, because the poorest part of the border, the weakest part of the border today is along the Arizona, particularly
but
the
it
more
shouldn't be
rural parts.
Look. Under President Bush, you put in the virtual fence, $50 million virtual fence.
No. We started the virtual fence.
That fence was erected, Mr. Rove. $50 million wasted.
No, not at all. You got to try. We had to. Hey, look, Bill. You got to try everything. And we put up the fence. We put up sensors that did work. We put up watchtowers that worked. But we tried everything. And you can't start something as important as this and throw as much money as we did and expect to have everything work perfectly.
That's
that
a good
point,
and I see that point.
We doubled the size of the Border Patrol and tripled its budget and did everything we did try and work. Yeah, but you got to give Bush credit. Bush, for example, ended 30 years of the practice of catch and release, where we took OTMs other than Mexicans and released them on their own recognizance and told them to show up. He ended that practice by spending a lot of money.
Mr. Rove, you guys did some good things, but you also were slow.
And so did President Clinton.
You were slow. It took me 5 years to pound you guys into sending guard to the border. After 5 years of me pounding you, you did it. That was far too slow.
Bill,
secondly,
Bill, I hate to tell you, Bill, I hate to tell you,
let me get mine. I'll let you have yours. Let me have mine. Let me have mine. You were slow to get the guard to the border. That's a fact. The second thing is, this is the most powerful country on earth. We can control the South Korean border, but we can't control the southern border. You're right. Some sectors, San Ysidro and San Diego, some parts of Texas, are virtually impenetrable. They can't get through. But Arizona, New Mexico, other parts of Texas, you can. Imperial County, California. And that is a disgrace for the most powerful country in the world. Yeah. The federal government can do this. Go.
Bill, your analogy that we're like North and South Korea, armed states, we aren't. We're not North and South Korea. We have millions of people south of the border who are trying to come across a very long and very porous border. It's gotten a lot tougher. I wish you would give the Border Patrol and give the government some confidence that they're doing a better job rather than simply saying what you're doing. A blanket statement.
I will not give the federal government. It should have been done a long time ago.
The Border Patrol
is Obama sealing that border now? I don't think he is.
No, and I do. And look, I do have some concerns because I'm picking up. I spent last weekend out in West Texas talking to people in the Border Patrol and in communities affected by this issue. They have anecdotal evidence that this administration is cutting back the budget of the Border Patrol. There's evidence that they are making the recruitment classes at the facilities for Border Patrol smaller.
Well, we'll report that.
And they have stopped. Let me finish, Bill. And they have stopped, I understand, the building of the fence in Arizona, the physical fence, which has proved to be one of the better things to help us
we'll investigate that and we'll find out what's true it is. But look, it's the frustration that I and millions of my viewers tonight feel is that we don't want to be persecuting Hispanic Americans or pulling them over, and the cops certainly don't want to be chasing gardeners and house painters around. But the federal government of the United States has an obligation to protect us, and they have not done it. You can seal down a border. It is possible and doable, but it hasn't been done. I'll give you the last word.
Well, Bill, look, it does require you to do things that we may not want to do, like have a biometric, national identification card for everybody. You saw the trouble we got into. We spent years trying to get driver's licenses with biometrics in it, and we got 8 states that will not participate in that program today.
Then cut off their highway funds. Cut off their funds.
Well, Easy to say, hard to do, Bill.
All right.
Easy to say, hard to do.
Complicated problems are hard, it's not easy, but it's got to stop. We're at a juncture in our history. It's got to stop. Mr. Rove, always a pleasure to see you. Buy Karl's book. It's a big bestseller, and we appreciate it. Coming next, Laura Ingraham will reply to what Karl Rove said.